should be able to screen share if you need to. If not, I can make you the host.
As long as I can share, it's all good.
I think you can, sir. So take
Yes,
it
I
away.
can. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here with you today. I apologize for my voice being a little bit rough. I talk too much. What can I say? So we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to show you Teamzy. I want to show you how it works, give you some workflow, show you how you can get all your income producing activity done in less than an hour a day. Okay. And keep track of everybody and have nobody fall through the cracks. I also want to talk to you a little bit about the heart of the Teamzy approach, the Teamzy system, and what that means for building authentic relationships in our business. And then we'll do some Q&A, and I'm going to try to squeeze it as much as I can in. So it may feel like, sipping water through a fire hose. So bear with me. But we're recording this, so you can rewind if you missed some pieces. Okay. So I've got a few slides to go through here really quick. This is the topic I want to teach to you tonight, which is, I can't hit the play button because of that little view thing that Zoom does. There it goes. Systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. All right. So the title is pretty self-explanatory, but to be really successful and duplicate it, you got to have a system. Got to have a system. We're going to teach you how to do it with relationship marketing, which is a systemized approach to building relationships. And we're going to do it less than an hour a day. That's what I mean by power hour boss. So there we go. We're going to go through it. Just quick background on me. I've been a business coach and consultant for 21 years, helping people build their business. I've coached just about every kind of business owner you can imagine. My home industry is real estate, worked with some of the top brokerages and top real estate teams over the past 20 years, helping them build their business, how to build authentic relationship-based businesses that give them a predictable stream of referred and repeat business. I fell into the direct sales industry in 2014 by accident. Just started a little side hustle for fun, and really fell in love with the industry. I love how you can become an entrepreneur with, minimal investment, what somebody might spend at dinner, right? You can start a business. And I loved the whole concept of how it really empowers people on a mass scale to create new income. What really took me by surprise, I'll be honest with you guys, is how it was being taught still. It was really backwards as far as the traditional approach to building the business. To me, it felt very 1970s, gold corduroy jacket type sales guy thing happening. Actually, I have a gold corduroy jacket, but you know what I mean. And I went to a convention, and I remember coming back talking to the leader of my consulting company where I was working, who was my good friend, brother from another mother. I said, man, direct sales needs our system. And so we just kind of started sketching literally on napkins, and we were like, hey, let's build something. So Teamzy launched at the very end of 2016. And we have had an amazing launch, and we'll get into kind of what we've done as a group. But I just wanted you guys to kind of understand, coming from the standpoint of being a coach and consultant, building out a system that worked for building business. Those principles apply to anything. And now that we've been 7, 8 years in direct sales, we've seen it really work for many, many folks in this industry as well. Here's a shot of my family, and I need to bring them into the picture so you guys understand why I needed Teamzy for myself, for my side hustle, and why it will benefit you. Life's busy, man. I've got a bunch of kids, dogs. I had a full-time career. You guys get it. Your lives are the same way. How the heck am I going to build another business on top of all the things I'm already doing? And so I knew that if I only had an hour a day, that hour a day had to be so intentional and focused. So when we built Teamzy, we had it in mind to get in and get done what you need to get done and get out back to your life. Okay. And that's kind of how it came to be. So just give you an idea. We've helped a ton of people with Teamzy just through word of mouth and introductions. People telling other people, just like you heard Butch telling us how he was introduced to it. And this is how we've grown. We've grown this way. Just so you have an idea of results, our active users have averaged 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay, 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. And we had to actually remove from that statistic, we removed the year 2020, because in that year, the numbers were ridiculously high. was a good year for this business, so we removed those numbers to keep the stat steady. Okay. And I'll show you tonight exactly what they're doing to get those average results. And it's about being consistent and applying these principles. All right, let's keep jumping in. I want to talk to you quickly about relationship marketing. Relationship marketing is the Teamzy system. And you may have heard somebody say relationship marketing in the past. It's kind of a buzzword. Maybe there's different definitions. So I'm going to tell you what I mean by it. Relationship marketing is a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, so we put the people, the relationship first. Now, this is not how our industry runs. Our industry is about finding that interested person and closing the sale, right? So what happens is the approaches that are most commonly taught result in people feeling like you're painting a target on their backs. They feel like people in network marketing are just trying to get that next commission. And that's given our industry a bad name. Have you guys come across people who are pretty skeptical and jaded? Yeah. So we're going to flip that on its head and really want to disrupt this industry by focusing on the relationship first. The next piece of this is, even though it sounds warm and fuzzy, it's not an abstract feel-good concept. We're probably not going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya at the end of our call tonight. This is a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next, which is really comforting, right? Because you never wonder, did I do enough? Did I do what I need to do? You'll know exactly that you've done what you need to do, and it's easy to duplicate. Next piece on relationship marketing. Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. So let me define that for you. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. You need to understand you are business owners, okay? And as business owners, your primary responsibility is lead generation. How many of you have ever worked in a restaurant or in the hospitality industry? Yeah, I have too. I spent a lot of years doing that. So when you work, I waited tables, tended bar, did everything. When you're in a service role like that, your job is to serve the customers. Who brings the customers? Who brings customers to the restaurant? The owner of the business, right? So I want you guys to know you're not just the person serving the customers. You're also the person bringing the customers. So as the owner of the business, you have to decide which lead generation system are you going to use. Now, relationship marketing is the most effective and feel good one too. So I think you'll probably want this one. Quick principle here. You're in the lead generation business. That is your business. Okay. What business are you in? Lead generation business. That's your answer, at least internally with the team. Okay. Next principle. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. You hear a lot of people giving lip service to the word relationships. But what I find is they often don't mean real relationships. They mean, quasi relationships like rapport. We want to build rapport, make people feel comfortable. That's not the same as building a relationship with someone. So I want you guys to understand relationships are not just vital. They're your duty. Think of it as a duty. You've got to build relationships. That's what you've got to do if you want to be successful. Okay. So we want to deepen the relationships with people we know and then meet new people and build relationships with them. Make sense? And if your focus is on that, you're going to do great, because what we do with relationships is we turn them into our advocates. They become our advocates over time. And we do it by investing time, providing outstanding service. We create advocates. Now, let me just quick thought on this. All great businesses are built by advocates. These are the raving fans, the people who feel compelled to share what you're doing with others. One thing I just want to say, because I know a lot of you are pros and have been through a lot of professional training probably for this industry. When somebody is not interested in your business or your product, they can still be your advocate. So instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, continue to build all the relationships in your life and you will see the fruit come in your business. Okay, next piece. Keep it moving here. I'm going to be to Teamzy soon in a second, you guys. A couple more points. Relationship marketing depends on trust. It depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. How many of you in your experience have come across a jerk or two? And I think a lot of people think everyone in this business is a jerk. And what do I mean by that? Disingenuous, sneaky, trying, pulling the switcheroo, the old joke of like, oh, old friend, let's catch up and have coffee. It's been years. And then you pull out the 3-ring binder over coffee, right? Ready to pounce with your business opportunity. We're not going to do any of that. Now, the good news is, since it depends on trust, we don't have to do any of that stuff. We get to be genuine, authentic, honest, upfront, and it is very freeing. I just want you guys to know. The good news is when you build trust, it's fun. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to sell them. When they trust you, you can get right to helping them. And that's why we're here, right? Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. How many of you seriously worry about being seen as an icky salesperson? So when you're not going to worry about that anymore, because with this approach, you'll never come across icky, which is great. And finally, you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. I feel like our industry is so focused on no's. You guys have heard the go for no concept, of course. The concept that, hey, massive, total, soul-crushing rejection is part of this business, and you just got to power through it, toughen it up, right? I remember when I was young, first introduced, I'm still young, but I was very young, first introduced to this industry, there were t-shirts that had rhinoceros faces on it, and they were like, you're going to be a rhino, thick-skinned. Look, guys, I want you guys to know, there's no reason to get tons of rejection. So that's the wrong approach. If you're doing an approach that requires tons of rejection, please let me recommend a different way to do this. When you're focused on building trust and deepening relationships, you're going for yes all the time. You're going for yes all the time. And I'll give you guys a little bit more on that. But I just want to please stop the madness that 100 no's is not getting you closer to a yes. It's just getting you closer to being depressed. Okay. All right. Next. Relationship building is a contact sport. That means if you want to build relationships, you've got to be in regular contact with people. It's not going to happen any other way. You got to be in regular contact with people. There's not going to be one magic conversation. I can't give you a magic script that's going to build a relationship with somebody. It takes time. And I know that your time is scarce. That's why we built Teamzy. And I'm going to show you guys how with Teamzy, you can maintain literally thousands of relationships less than an hour a day. Okay. But here's the big principle of the night. And then we're going to jump into Teamzy. I just want to talk about this principle for maybe a minute or two. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connect. And in fact, I'm going to add a word to this. Investing time and connecting personally with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay. So let me just give you a quick example on this. And if you could, if you're decent, turn your camera on so I can see your faces just for a couple of minutes. Okay. I'll leave the definition of decent up to you. Okay. So you guys have been on enough Zooms. You've seen crazy things, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Just really quick. I want to talk about this concept of investing time connecting with people. How many of you have ever received a card or a letter from somebody you love that had included a handwritten message, right? And when you read that handwritten message, it just, man, it was like warm oil to the soul. How many of you guys have ever had a great card or letter from somebody you love? Okay, everybody. Okay, so great. First of all, thank goodness, because we're going to have to write you all a note tonight if you said no. Okay. Did you keep it? How many of you kept it? The one that you thought of, did you keep it? You have it somewhere. Okay, let me see. Keep your hand up if you have a big stash of these somewhere that you can't bear to part with, right? Like a big box of them, or yeah, everybody keeps these. Isn't that amazing? And then you move to a new home and you think, I haven't even looked at those in 10 years. Do I need to keep them? But you do, right? You keep them. I know a lot of times when our loved ones pass, we treasure the letters that they received the most, don't we? So it's like we keep it another generation. Okay, so here's another example. Well, one of these is upside down. Let's see here. These are happy birthday postcards. Okay, so have you ever received a happy birthday postcard? These happen to be from my life insurance salesperson, the person you don't want your family to ever have to talk to, right? So he sold me life insurance. Every year I get a birthday card, postcard. Do you guys get these from maybe businesses, or is it nice to get this? Kind of. Did you keep these? Did these go into your stash of beloved cards and letters? They went right in the trash can, or maybe the recycling bin, right? How many of you actually enter your home through the car? Do you guys do that? I know it's very common in California. We drive into our home, shut the garage door, then walk into the house. So for me, they don't even make it in the house. The recycling bin is in the garage, right? But of course I keep these because I like to make fun of them on these calls. But this is an important, I'm using this example to make a point. Why does this not have the same impact as a card with a handwritten message from a loved one? And I know it's kind of obvious, but let's go through it. One, this doesn't require an investment of time. He didn't invest any personal time in this. He just paid for a service, done and dusted, right? So I know that there's no personal time invested, so it has a lot less value. The second piece is it's not personal. It doesn't even have my name. It says, wishing you a happy birthday. Thank you for your business. And it just says Johnson. So this might not even be to me. It could be to my wife, for all I know. So it's not personal. It required no investment of time. We don't value it. It doesn't deepen the relationship. Does that make sense? Now, there's a reason why companies do marketing like this. It's mostly just to keep top of mind, remind you. But you and I, we're in the relationship building business. This business is built, as my dad would say, belly to belly, right? That we can do that on, we can do it virtually now, virtually belly to belly. So we need to focus on connecting personally and investing time. That's what deepens a relationship. Are you with me? Beware of marketing systems that sound sexy. It's automated, fully automated, because this is how it could be received. So since we can't replace the personal interaction, investing personally time into people, what we need to do instead is build a system that allows us to do that very efficiently. Does this make sense? So that's what I'm going to show you with Teamzy. We don't do anything bulk. We don't do anything automated. We do it person to person, but we've got a system that makes it so incredibly efficient that you're always done in less than an hour. Okay, so have I piqued your interest? Let's jump in here and take a look. Let me just share my screen again. Goodness gracious, Eric, how many screens do you have open? Okay, hold on one second. I've got this on the wrong screen. Let me pull it over there.
Glad to see someone else can't find the tabs.
My son says, how can you have 4 browsers open and 40 tabs each? That's my filing system, son. You'll figure it out someday. Okay. You guys see Teamzy on the screen? Okay, great. So this is actually part of the setup of Teamzy that we're in right now. I just want to show you this because it really helps us understand how Teamzy works intelligently on your behalf. One of the first things you're going to do when you set up your Teamzy is you're going to set an income goal in Teamzy. Okay, so you set your income goal. Just move this dot around. You can set a big goal. That one got a whoa Nelly from Teamzy. I like that. Okay, or you can have a more modest goal. Whatever your goal is, you set it. Now I'm going to set my goal. Excuse me. Excuse me in advance. I felt that little tickle coming. If we go up to, my goal was 150, so I'm just going to put it at 150, right? That was my when I was building my business, I knew if I could get to 150, I didn't have to work for somebody else. So for me, that was my goal. So I'm going to use it as an example. So at 150, Teamzy's telling me my daily work, I need to reach out to 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 distributors on my team. Okay. All right. And what do you guys call team members?
Partners, associates, team members. Hey, you.
All right. So that's what I mean. Whenever you see the word distributor on Teamzy, that's what it means. Okay, guys. So we'll keep going. So that's my goal. Now, when I look at that, that's 19 messages. I'm going to show you guys how easy this is. I'm looking at, well, let's call it 30 minutes because I do get easily distracted. So it's going to take me 30 minutes to complete this task, which is pretty awesome. All right, let's hit continue. Now, each one of you may set a different number. When you click on continue, it's now going to set Teamzy up in the background, custom to your goal. So you may see a different looking dashboard, each person on the team. Okay. Next step is you want to get contacts into Teamzy. The whole point here is everybody you know needs to be in here because we're going to build relationships systematically. If you see somebody you really don't like, you can delete them, by the way. I'll give you permission. You don't want to duplicate jerks, right? You pull the weeds. That's okay, right? Or you can keep them in here. I'll show you. You can give them a 1 star so that they're in cold storage, but you don't have to interact with them. All right. So a couple things to make this very easy for those of you who are leaders. I want you to get your team members imported. I want you to get all your customers imported, right, from your back office. As far as creating a list of prospects, we do a couple of things that make it super easy to get started. One, you can sync all your Facebook friends with 1 click. So they can sync up into Teamzy. So you can start systematically connecting with that list. You can import any social media list. You're just going to have to follow a couple instructions to do that for any other type of social media list. And if you're one of those people that carries a lot of contacts in your phone, from your phone, you can sync all your phone contacts very easily too into Teamzy. So there's a couple of ways that make it really easy for you to get started quickly. If you're signing up a new partner today, they can just go boom, import their Facebook people and start a Teamzy Power Hour in 5 minutes, right? Pretty cool. All right. If you keep your data in any other place, if you keep it on a spreadsheet, you can import those as CSV files. If you're using another application to keep track of your contacts, you can usually do an export. That export will import right into Teamzy. Okay, it's very simple. All right, let's get this launched. So here's my Teamzy dashboard, okay? And I'm just gonna walk you through some of this really quickly, and then I wanna do a quick Teamzy Power Hour demo, and then we'll open it to questions. So right here where it says today's activities, can you see that box there on your screens? Okay, great. And I just wanna thank you, Judy. You are like my star tonight. She nods and smiles and makes me know that my microphone's working. So thank you, Judy. Don't turn off your camera, please. You're keeping me alive tonight. Okay. It's all good. All right. So I've got right here, if you could look at these circles, I just want you to see these circles. This is really fun. And it's a visual thing that really helps us. So I've got my prospects, right? I need to connect to 9 of them based on my income goal. You can see the circle's empty. I've done 0. As we start working, these circles will fill. Okay, so when we close our circle, we're done with that task. We move on to the next. I've got to connect with 6 customers. By the way, when I say customers, I mean present, past. It could have been your customer 10 years ago. Keep them on this list. Okay, they're a customer for life in my book because they trusted you enough to buy from you, right? And people are obsessed with meeting strangers when you've already got people who trust you. So let's keep track of those folks. We're going to reach out to 6 of them to get my goal. And then this is your team. This is your team. So we want to talk to 4 people on the team. Okay, great. If you're brand new and have 2 people on your team, you're going to be done quick. But I want you to know this, like, let's say you're brand new and you don't have any customers or distributors. You're going to take all the totals and just put them on prospects until you build out your customers in your team. Does that make sense? Simple enough. Okay. I've also got a goal here. And so what I want on those first 3, what I want to do is I would just want to connect. I call them connects because that's all you're doing is connecting, not recruiting, not selling, not sending them a link. God forbid, don't do that. Okay. I don't need to explain that, right? We can keep going. Okay, good. So what I want you to do is just focus on making their day. Okay. I call it the make someone's day mindset. I have some, oh wait, actually I have one right here. Look at this. Oh no, I thought it said make someone stay mindset. This one says Power Hour Boss. I was like, I have t-shirts that say make someone stay mindset. Okay, we want to make someone's day. That's it. By the way, this is so much fun. Okay, why are we focused on making people stay? And if you're not sure how to do that, I've mastered this. I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, it's built into Teamzy, makes it easy for you. When you make people stay, they respond. They respond. And it's just a great way to start a conversation. You do want to share links. You do want to share the business. You do want to talk business, but you can't just do it cold. You got to have a conversation. You've got to build that. You got to build trust. It may not happen on the first conversation. It's like proposing marriage to a stranger, right? Some might bite, but you're not going to get the people you want on your team, right? So you know, sometimes it takes a little while. You've got to start with hello. You've got to build up that relationship. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So we're just going to make people's day. We're not going to, or it's not going to make this difficult. And I'll show you how to do it. We've got scripts. It's like boom, 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 boom. You're going to be sending those messages out. I've also got a goal here to share. Now you see that goal share. It's a lot smaller. It's just 3. A share is when I share the business or I share a product solution with somebody. Okay. So I want to keep track of those because it's important. If you guys sign up for Teamzy and all you do is make people's day, you're going to be you're a very popular person, but you're not going to grow your business. So we need to share where inappropriate. And so what we're doing by creating tons of conversations, we're creating many opportunities to share. So let's say this goal is pretty aggressive. 3 a day is pretty aggressive. Even if you had one goal, one a day share goal, you're going to be building a lot of momentum in the business. So out of these conversations, one person we're hoping that we'll be able to talk about the business and share. We're going to log that. And then I've got ads. The last one is ads. I added Amanda, which is why you can see I've got 1 done. New people, new relationships are the fresh water of your business. If you know 5,000 people, that's awesome. You still need to be meeting new people constantly. And if you're doing this right, you'll be getting introduced to people. Primarily, you'll be getting introduced to new people by the people you're already talking to. But every time you meet somebody, you connect with somebody, I want you to add them to Teamzy. By the way, I haven't showed you this yet, but Teamzy, it converts mobile if you open it up on your phone. So here it is mobile, so it's in your phone. Okay, so if you're out somewhere and you meet somebody great, you can add them to Teamzy right there. You don't have to write it on a napkin and take it home. Okay, I actually would I would just click on the add button and hand it to somebody and say, would you just put your contact info, your name and number into my system so that I don't lose track of you? And you'd be amazed. I will have people do it and they will put all their information. So it asks for first name, last name, email, and phone. And you don't have to put all those things to create a contact, but when you create contact, it opens up the rest of the fields. And I'll be like, did you get that yet? And they're like, oh, I'm putting my Facebook link in here for you. And these are the names of they're looking at all the things. This is my spouse's name. So I've had people fill out their full profile, which is pretty funny. All I really want to do is have their name so that I can reach out on social media or whatever, wherever I have them, and say hello again when they come up on Teamzy. Okay, so those are my activities: prospects, customers, distributors, shares, and ads. When you close the circles, you're done. Okay, you're done. Tools down, as my dad used to say. Go enjoy your life, and that's the beauty of this. If you're an early riser like I am, you could be done building the business 5 a.m. Right? Of course, you're going to be having conversations, chatting with people that are responding throughout the day, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's move down a little bit and show you how to do this. This dailies thing is kind of fun. So when you come in here, you've got 4 that you can't remove because they are non-negotiables. That is posting on social media, doing personal development, being a product of your own product, and getting some exercise. Okay. Now, if you're too busy to do this, it's going to bother you that it's not checked off. So we want you to check these off. Those are 4 things we know that you've got to do consistently to be successful, but you can add more. You can see I added devotional, I added walk the dog. So you can add your own little check things that you want to do, which is kind of fun. All right, let's scroll down to Power Hour. Do you see this section right here? So this is what sets Teamzy apart and makes it so easy to use. Keep in mind that Teamzy keeps track of all of your contacts. It has their names, their contact information, anything that you've kept on them. Maybe the name of their spouses, their kids, their pets, their favorites, struggles they're going through. You keep it all in notes. You've got records. You can take notes every time you communicate so you remember what you talked about last time. All that's in there, right? Which is very powerful. But what Teamzy does that really nothing else does is it takes that information and it tells you, okay, here's who you need to reach out to today. And it cycles everybody so that nobody can fall through the cracks. Okay, so let me just give you a quick example. When you look at the Power Hour, you see 4 lists: prospects, customers, distributors. So notice those line up with these, right? Lines up perfectly with these. So you've got 3 lists. Each one of these lists gives you 5 names maximum. So you can't get too overwhelmed, right? Just 5 at a time. And it tells you who's up next. We actually call this list the who's up next list. It's We don't want you to have to think too hard, right? It's who's up next. On the right-hand side is where you log the message that you send so that you can keep track of it. And what happens is when I log a message, like when I message Amanda, I'll do it in a second, she will disappear off this list and she'll just like, where does she go? Well, she just kind of goes into the flow. She comes back on this list because she's 5. See the number next to her name? That means I've given her 5 stars. We rate everyone on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. 5-star people come back in 30 days. I don't need to remember. If she doesn't happen to respond to my message, I don't have to message her next week and go, did you get my message? She's just going to come back on my list in 30 days. Okay. If she's a 4-star, she'll come back in 60 days. If she's 3 stars, she'll come back in 90 days. 2 stars comes back in 120 days. Okay. 1 star, they don't come up. They're in cold storage. Okay. Okay. So this enables you to stay in touch with lots of people without being a nag or a weirdo, right? But also without letting too much time pass. Does that make sense? So as they're cycling through these 3 lists, prospects, customers, and distributors, your goal is just touching base, just connecting, just being a human, just investing in the relationship. Okay. The 4th list is follow-ups. You see this one here? The follow-ups is when that conversation has progressed to the point where, yeah, you did share the business with them, or you did share an opportunity with them. Now they go on your follow-ups list, because now what's happened is they've gone from just being a relationship that you're deepening to someone who's interested in your business. Does this make sense? Now, I'm just going to give you a quick analogy on this, because I think it helps how we think about the business. Do I have any attorneys? Anybody an attorney on here? Okay, so this is going to be my example, the attorney example. I've got a good friend who's an attorney. Okay. We actually just got back from a camping trip, 19 dads and 23 daughters, camping trip, daddy-daughter camping trip. One of the dads is an attorney. Okay, so we're hanging out, camping, right? Lighting fires, burning stuff, cooking, chasing girls around that are unruly. You get the idea. We're just friends. Now, let's say we're having a conversation and, doing that. And I said to him, Jared, can I ask you a legal question? What happens in that moment? In that moment, this beautiful man I have a great relationship with, he becomes a professional. The second I say, can I ask you a legal question? His demeanor changes. He's ready. He's now ready to share his knowledge and experience with me and help me. He doesn't even know what the question is, right? So now when I ask him a question, it's kind of a serious moment because he's now serving me as a professional. Are you guys with me? The same thing's true in your business. How's life going? Oh my gosh, how are your kids? How are your grandkids? What are you guys up to? This is so great. What about you? What are you up to? Oh, I started this new business. It's amazing. We just took this great vacation. I love it so much. Oh, you need to tell me more about that. Okay, yeah, I can tell you more about that. You want to set up a call where we can talk about it? Yeah, let's set up a call. That'd be great. Okay, great. Boom. Now you're their trusted advisor helping them with an opportunity. Does this make sense? You didn't stop being their friend, but the follow-ups list, it's more professional. Are you with me? Okay. So let's dive back in here. So we're going to go through, let me just demo this a little bit. First one up is Amanda. The first part of our power hour is just messaging our prospects, customers, and distributors to make their day. If you're not sure how to do it, use my scripts right here where it says scripts. Okay, I've spent 20 years refining these scripts. They work. You don't believe me, just use them and test it. You can message me, say, they actually work. People responded. So I'm going to click on scripts. There's a whole bunch of different choices. Let's say we're going to do Facebook Messenger. I don't think we're friends on Facebook, Amanda, but we'll pretend. Okay. Let's say Messenger. Doesn't matter. It could be text too. So you got a couple scripts, a bunch of scripts you could choose from. I'm just going to pick the first one. It's called Connect One. Here's how it reads. If you can't see it, it says, hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Super simple. Okay. This little script, you guys, as easy as it looks, took years to get right, and it just works. So when I click on copy script, it's now on my clipboard. I can actually go straight to a messenger or text app or whatever, but I'm going to paste it here first just so I can change the name because I have sent Jane to the wrong person before. And, your arms and legs won't fall off, but it's you got some explaining to do. So here we go. So I got Amanda. Here we go. I've got it just the way I want it. I'm going to copy this. I'll toggle over to Facebook. Did you send me a friend request? No. Okay. So we're going to pretend. I don't think you're on here. I looked for you earlier today. Let's see.
It's now under
It's now Phillips.
Amanda
yeah.
Phillips instead of Sharp.
So, yeah.
There we go.
We changed that 2 years ago. I took her off the market.
Somehow, yeah, I don't know. No,
Let's see. Where are you?
No,
Well, why aren't I there? Let's
You
see.
need a name like, that's hard. That's
Yeah.
weird.
there she is right there.
Oh, yeah. The
Amanda
there-
Phillips with Amanda Phillips in the
Yeah.
parentheses.
This one.
Nope,
No,
down.
Keep going down.
This one. Here. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, great.
The one
We're
with
just gonna-
2.4 thousand followers. Just show me
That's
up.
it. Okay. Oh, look, here she is.
Here I am.
You even messaged me. How did I miss that? Okay, so look, I'm pasting in the message. Okay, sent. Do you guys see how easy that was? Don't overthink it.
Here it is.
So I'm going to toggle back over to Teamzy and log this. Now watch what happens to the circle at the top when I log it. That's the big blue button that says log connect. You really can't mess it up. Now I've got 1 done, 8 left. The circle's filling in blue. Okay. So if I want to message Brenda, I'll just use the same script still in my dashboard, just paste it in there, change the name. Look at this. I don't even have to change all the letters. Okay. Same thing. I'll go send Brenda the message. And when I log it here, I'm now filling that circle. So I'm going to work my way down this list until the circle's filled all the way. In my case, it's 9 messages I'm going to send. When they respond immediately, don't jump on it. Just let it go for now. We want to get all the outgoing messages done. Are you guys with me? Okay. So I'm going to finish my prospects until the circle's all the way blue. Then I'll toggle over to customers. The same thing. I want to connect with customers just to make their day. Now, this is really important. So I'll just show you some scripts here. So let's say we're texting. It's fine. We'll pretend we're texting. So I've got a bunch of different ones. I like this one. How are you enjoying, or how are you enjoying whatever your vacation? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. I love this one. This is my favorite one. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Now, these are great scripts to stay in contact with people. Now, let me just explain something here. I'm going to use that one. Her name's Raven. I always like that name, Raven. It's a cool name. All right, so when we send this message to Raven, she's going to say, oh my gosh. The most common response, by the way, when you send this one is, you just made my day with your message. Oh, that's perfect. Here's what happens when you stay in regular contact with your customers, guys. This is statistical fact. I'm not just making this up. If you're in regular contact with customers, they order more, they retain longer. Okay, they order more, they retain longer. Also, customers who just love the process, they become partners. Okay, they become partners. So it's really important that we're in touch with our customers. It is the low-hanging fruit of our business. Even if you've been in another direct sales company before you came here, you should be talking to those customers because they already trust you. Are you with me? Okay. So keep connecting with your customers. My goal is 6. I'm going to message 6 people, make sure they're having an awesome day. And then I'll toggle over to my team. I want to stay in touch with my team members also, connecting. I know you guys have Zooms. I know you have team chats and pages and all that kind of stuff. But let's just talk about the white elephant in the room that not many trainers talk about, which is retention. Right? How do you keep good people? Because the truth is you can help them be successful if they would just stick with it, right? And do some of the work and be consistent. And it's a total bummer when they quit. How do we keep them? Well, the number one thing that impacts retention is the feeling, the connection, the relationship they have with their leader. How many times have you heard people say, yeah, I tried that, but I had a real unsupportive upline? Or, right? You've heard that. It makes a big difference. So listen, I know that you guys do everything right. You've got your group chats, you've got your trainings, you're bringing people like me in to talk to the team. I mean, you're doing it right. But nothing, we talked about it earlier, nothing beats that personal investment one-on-one of time. So just reaching out, Angie, just reaching out to see how you're doing. It's been a while since we talked. Can I do anything to help in your business? Just quick little messages to let them know you're thinking of them and that you care. And look, if everyone on the team's using Teamzy, it's great. Just Angie, you're number 1 on Teamzy today. How can I help? What's going on? I wanted to make sure, oh, I'm number one on Teamzy. Yeah, you're my Teamzy. I wanted to make sure I stay in touch with you. So it's okay. It's okay that they know the secret, that none of us are really that good at this naturally. We need a system, right? I actually had a guy, you guys, I'll tell you I'll try not to get too many stories because, I use up too much of your time tonight, but there was this guy that I worked with through my real estate consulting business. And I really wanted to get him into my direct sales business. And I don't know if I told you guys this, but I don't do direct sales. So don't worry. There's no competition with me anymore because Teamzy just took off. Okay. But I really wanted to get him in my direct sales business. I was messaging him. I had him in Teamzy. He's a 3-star. So every 3 months he came up and he never responded. So I went through all my scripts, right? And it had been like, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. And he suddenly responds and he says, hey, thanks for the messages. I'm sorry I didn't respond. I've been to your website. I've been watching your videos. He's like, I'm ready to get started. Here's the package that I'm interested in. Here's my phone number. Give me a call so we can get it all set up. And I want to come in. I saw your video about why I should come in as a distributor on your team instead of a customer. So I want to do that. Can we talk this week to get set up? Yes. And that just like, I almost took him off the list 3 times. But then I thought to myself, I'm literally investing 5 seconds every 3 months into this person. I can keep doing that forever. Right? Because I didn't sit around thinking, why doesn't he respond? I was like, man, I got 10 other people to message. Your name's up, you're getting the message, moving on to the next thing. Does this make sense, you guys? And it works out. It worked out great. So the beautiful thing about this takes some of that worry and anxiety out. So you're going to message your distributors. Again, like I said, if you don't have a team yet, or if you have a small team, add that number to prospects until you do. Okay. And if you get a huge team, like 10,000 plus, message me personally, and I'll give you some tips on how to keep in touch with your team when it gets really big. Okay. So now I've done the first half. I've messaged my prospects, customers, my distributors, just sent the messages out. People are starting to respond, right? It's going to be exciting. You're going to have some of those chats. I highly recommend that you set aside a couple of times a day to respond to messages, like a couple of 30-minute time blocks, because otherwise you will be on your phone all day long. Okay. So unless that's the life you want to lead, when I first started doing Teamzy for myself personally, my phone was literally blowing up. And I was so excited that it was blowing up that I was just on it all day. My wife, Lisa, she says, don't you teach time blocking like professionally in your coaching business? I said, yeah. And she's like, so why aren't you doing it? I was like, you're right. So that's when I started doing, okay, I'm going to do messages from 9 to 10 and messages from 8 to 9 at night. And man, that was freeing for me. Sometimes I do them 30 minutes because I was still working. I still had my corporate job. Sometimes I do it 30 minutes in my lunch break as well. And you can respond to a lot of messages in that amount of time, right? Okay. I would just go to my list, unread, answer. Okay. The next list here is the follow-ups. So a follow-up's different than these other lists. These other lists cycle based on the rank you gave them, right? The time frame of that rank and the date you last connected with them. And the follow-ups is a specific date in the future that you're setting something for. Okay. So you can set a follow-up for any reason. I mean, a great reason is, my friend Stefan just had a double hernia surgery. So it's like, you put that in follow-up to text him right before he goes in, some well wishes, so that boom, it pops. And it's like, that reminds you, right? It helps you be a better human. But I mentioned before, the follow-ups, the real intention of it is to be your pipeline of people who are interested in the business. So let me just give you a quick example on this. So we've got Amanda. I messaged her. Just a quick make someone say message. She responded, oh, that was nice to hear from you, Eric. Usually you don't get like a, wow, that message changed my life, right? It's usually like, oh, nice to hear from you, Eric, right? So now it's my job to try to get a conversation going. I'm going to give you guys, just because I'm really fired up right now, I'm going to give you guys my best phrase that works, I'd say 80% of the time, opening up a good conversation. That's pretty good, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it. What have you been up to lately? Send me an update. That's the key part, the send me an update. What have you been up to lately? Send me an update. Now, and do we have any school teachers here, retired or active school teachers? So this is something that school teachers do with our children, which is they give clear instructions when they want the kids to do something, right? So we've been told, oh, ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are confusing and annoying for people. So you follow up with my mentor and business partner, Mike Lopez, calls it a directive. The directive is how to answer the open-ended question. Okay. When you do that, it is comfortable. So it's like, hey, what have you been up to? Send me an update. Oh, I know exactly what that means. It's like, boom, here's what we're doing. This is what the kids are up to, right? And people will give you like a 3 or 4 part update without even thinking. Now you're in a great conversation. Because it's like, oh man, that's so great. How long have they been playing soccer? Like you've just got so much you can talk about, right? And really get interested in. And by the way, you're keeping this information in Teamzy, these interests and these passion points and these struggle points, right? Of course, when we hear struggle, when we hear pain points, we want to help, right? So we want to help. Maybe the business can help, maybe not. Maybe it's just something you can help with. Maybe someone just needs a prayer. Maybe they need an introduction. Maybe you've got a great book that you know that you could send them, or an article, or you can, or like I do, I look it up while we're talking. Here's a great article I just found on this topic, right? Trying to help them. They've got a leaky roof. Do you know anybody know a good roofer? So like helping people is helping people, right? Listening for that, having a good conversation. I don't know. This is probably the most the strangest sales training you guys have had, but I'm telling you right now, this is life, and this is what makes building the business fun. Now, when you have a conversation with somebody and they're giving you an update and you're interested in asking questions and getting involved in what they're updating you on, what's the most logical thing to happen next in this conversation? It's for you to give an update on what you're doing.
They ask you.
Right? They might not ask, because a lot of this is via text and messenger. Right? So it's a little different than being face-to-face, and it may be stretched over several days. That's just kind of the way we are these days. Now, of course, if you're upfront, if you're in person with somebody, you're going to have this conversation. It's just a conversation. But I would just normally say, well, yeah, we've been busy too. You know, here's what's going on with us. And I would give it a similar update. If they updated me on their kids, I would update them on my kids. Right? And give them an update on what's going on with you, and just be, just be real. Now, part of your update is your business. Did I tell you about my home-based business I started? Okay. By the way, that little sentence I just gave you is the simplest way to introduce it. Did I tell you about my home-based business? And here's, write this down, you guys. This is what you say next. I'm going to tell you what. You're going to have to create your own sentence. You write that, you tell them what you're doing and why you're passionate about it. Okay, so we help people create custom travel. I mean, you guys know what it is you do, right? But the stuff that drives me crazy, remember how we talked about being authentic and real? In our industry, there's this whole trend of not telling people what you do because you want to create curiosity. How many of you find that really annoying when people do that to you? Right? Am I right? It's like, well, Eric, what I do is I help women to activate their inner beauty and cosmic strength through the unleashing of economic forces. Like, oh, come on. Are you serious right now? Like, that's your mission statement. I love it, right? Put it on your wall in your office, but tell me what you do. Okay. So tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Now, here's the thing that's cool. When you're having a conversation with somebody, relating as a human being, and you tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it, 100% of the time, they will be excited and happy for you. Right? Oh, good for you. Now, it doesn't mean they're interested. It just means, oh, I'm happy that you found something you love. That's great. What else could they say? So you've planted a great seed now that this is a positive, good thing. Make sense? Mm-hmm. And so here's the thing. For me, you follow it up with, yeah, it's been amazing. And by the way, I don't want to leave you out. If you ever want to learn more about it, just let me know. Be happy to get you some more info. Okay. Or if you know anybody else, One of my favorite things to plant a seed would be to say, I just want you to know, Judy, my star tonight, I just want you to know that I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. So if you come across anybody you think might be interested in this, please introduce us. Please introduce us. Now, at this point, she doesn't even know what it is that well. She's a little skeptical, but you know what she's going to say?
Sure.
I'll do that. If that were to happen, I will do that. So again, planted that seed in her mind that she wouldn't have even thought of. Okay. So the more seeds that you plant like that, you're going to reap harvest. Now, all she gets from the call is, I help people save money on travel. It's fabulous. He's got a heart to serve. He wants to help more people, right? It's good. So now if I say, would you like to learn more? Just let me know. And she says, yes, I do want to learn more. And there will be, you guys, there will be a portion of people who on the first conversation say, yes, I want to learn more. Okay. Many people will take multiple conversations over time. Some people, there's people, if you're doing 19, like my goal is 150. If you're doing 19, what I found in the year that I used Teamzy before Teamzy took off and I had to close the business because it was a conflict because everybody wanted Teamzy, was that just doing this an hour a day, I had at least 5 people joining my business every month. So it was just steady. Does this make sense? So you're having lots, some take longer, some take sooner. So when she says, wow, Judy says, wow, this sounds, I would like to learn more. Now we're messaging. So I say, oh, let's get on a call. Maybe if we're local, we'll have coffee, but I love Zoom. This is my 9th year using Zoom. I was an early Zoom adopter. It's like, I'll send you a Zoom link. Let's connect, right? In person is the best, face-to-face over video is second best, voice-to-voice, third best, right? So you want to have a real conversation with somebody. Great. She says, great, perfect. Let's set up some times. Perfect. Got you in the schedule. Bam. See you then. Okay. So now we have a Zoom. We get to connect. Now I'm my friend at the campground giving me legal advice. Make sense? Now I'm going to walk her through this professionally and show her how this can work for her. All right. After that, let's go back to Teamzy. Let me show you how to log this. Has this been helpful so far? Is it okay that I'm going off on tangents? Okay.
Yeah, they're used to it. Trust me.
Good. Because I like to give the context of how we're using this because I think it'll be helpful for you guys to understand how it works. Okay. So
sorry, I'm in the dark, but I'm driving home. I started at 4:30 this morning from Wisconsin, and I'm now in Texas. So.
Oh yeah, that's a long day. That's good. Well, at least the roads are wide in Texas. You're good. All right. So I know I was just using Judy as my example, but you're not in my system. So we're going to switch back. We're going to switch back over and get this set up over here. Okay. So we're going to use Amanda. So we're going to pretend I was just having the conversation. Amanda wants to learn more. We had our Zoom. How do I log it? So I'm going to look her up in Teamzy because she's not on my dashboard anymore. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Well, I have her in here sharp. It's all good.
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So here she is. She's in here. And now I want to log that we had a Zoom and we talked about the business. So how do I do it? First of all, I'm going to click on connect because that opens up that box we're used to seeing on the dashboard. Okay. You guys see that? Now here I'm going to select how we connected. So, if you had coffee, you're going to put in person, phone call, whatever, but I'm going to put video chat because it was a Zoom. I'm going to put all the notes from our Zoom. So there's a record of it in Teamzy. And then right here on the bottom left, it says share. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to take it off the default, which is just connecting, and I'm going to put it on what's appropriate. Let's call it business opportunity. Okay, great. Boom, there it is. So now that I'm logging that there was a share and it was a business opportunity share, it immediately creates a follow-up. See that little yellow calendar icon? Now it defaults to 2 days. I would always follow up tomorrow. So I'll change it. You can change it to any date you want in the future. Change it to tomorrow. And then we log this. Now, Now we're looking at her record, and this record would show every message I ever sent her, anything I ever did with her. You can see there's the Facebook message we sent. There's the video chat with the notes about the business opportunity, and there's the follow-up planned for tomorrow. Okay. If I go back to my dashboard, you can see that share is logged now and that circle's filling. And if I go to my follow-ups list, there it is, Amanda due tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow, let's fast forward to tomorrow. I come into my power hour, I turn on Teamzy, log in. I start connecting. I've got to connect with my prospects, my customers, my distributors, just sending those messages. I'm going to have a notification. I have a follow-up due. So I'm going to come over here. There it is. I've got to send this follow-up. So I'm going to follow up now with Amanda. Now, just real quick on this. When I'm talking to Amanda and she tells me, this is awesome, I need to do this, I'm super excited. Great. How do I get signed up? And I tell her, great. She's like, you know what? I just need to talk to my husband and I'll do it tonight. Perfect. You know what I'm going to do is, Amanda, I'll check in with you tomorrow and just see if you have any questions. Does that sound good? Now, I always tell them I'm going to follow up tomorrow, and I'll explain this in a second. One, I know there's about a 95% chance she won't follow through and sign up tonight. Would you guys say that's about right? I'm maybe even being kind on 95% chance, right? So she doesn't know that because right now she has the best of intentions. So I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, see if you have any questions. She says, okay, great. That sounds good. So now tomorrow's here and I'm going to send her a follow-up. Now watch what the first script says. So I'm going to send her a follow-up. You go to scripts, by the way, and your scripts are labeled follow-up. So there's 10 of them in here. So you don't have to think. You can just use mine. They work amazing. Follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay. This is very powerful because now you're setting the tone that following up is keeping a promise, not being annoying. This isn't about me getting a sale. This is about me keeping my promise to you, my friend. Does that make sense? And if you truly feel that in your heart, that's the way it will come across, just so you know. I don't want you to use this as a manipulation technique. Okay, so there it is. I changed the name. I've got it the way I want it. Let's just actually go send her this. Here we go. Boom, sent. Great. Toggling back over. We log this. Now it's a follow-up. So Teamzy is going to make sure that this is the actual follow-up. Did this complete your follow-up you had scheduled? So yes, leave it checked off. There are situations where you have a follow-up set for next month, but you're talking to him today and you don't want to check off the follow-up. Does that make sense? Okay. Now we want to add another follow-up. So whenever you do a follow-up, add a new one. Okay. Don't wait for them to respond because they're not going to respond for a while. Okay. That's the truth. So let's say I'll follow up again on Friday. Great. I'll just drop it in there. Leave yourself a note about what your follow-up is going to be. My note says FU2. We create that. That means follow-up number 2. Just want to clarify that, by the way. FU2 means follow-up number 2. I don't know what you guys were thinking. All right, let's complete that. So now you can see I've completed my follow-up. Amanda Sharp, she's now due on Friday. Okay, let's go back to let's just refresh my dashboard so you can see this. You can see over here, I've got a follow-up done. See that little 1 up there? Tracked one of my follow-ups. Great. So now my follow-ups, she's due on Friday. On Friday, I can come in here and let's say, you know, you're cranking, you've got 15 follow-ups too. I might not remember the last time what we talked about last, but I've got this note, follow-up 2. So now I can go to my scripts. I can grab follow-up 2. Do you guys see how easy this is? It says, hi, Jane, just making sure you got my message, checking to see if you have any questions. So I'm staying in touch with her. Okay. So what you're going to do is every time you set a follow-up, you set the next one, you just grab the next script. I've got 10. Why do I have 10? Because 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Okay. If you get through all 10 of my follow-up scripts without a response, usually the response comes at number 6, by the way, 6 or 7. How many people would you say on your team follow up consistently 6 or 7 times? Probably 0. So most of the response comes between 6 and 7. The response that is, I'm so sorry, Eric, that I haven't responded to your messages. That's like the reopening of the conversation. It's not you're not making the sale. It's, I'm sorry I haven't responded. Oh my gosh. And they tell you everything that's going on in their life that kept them from responding, right? And then no worries. I told you I'd be here to help, and I'm here to help. And you kind of restart the process. But there's a process that most people go through where they see the opportunity. Then their subconscious mind starts the protection against the new thing. Right? Have you guys ever heard of the Mel Robbins, her 30-second rule? Like how your subconscious mind will distract you from something for 30 seconds so you forget it. This is real. It's really happening. And it's because our subconscious is designed to keep us in the familiar, safe place. And growth is not a familiar, safe place, is it? So that person in the moment with you, excited, and then they think they're still excited, but they're not able to do it. That follow-up over time helps them get over that, makes them comfortable with it. So it's you just need to understand it's a process for most people, that if you have a system like Teamzy, you don't have to sweat it. You just follow the system, and those people nurture. They nurture. I'll just give you guys an example. One of the, this system is universal, right? It's not just us. I work with a mortgage company, and they work with people who are 2-3 years from being able to buy a home, right? So they get introduced to these people, they educate them on what they need to do, they help them construct a plan, and they stay in touch. Now, that's a long time. How many of you want to wait 3 years? But here's the thing, they don't think about it. They put them in the pipeline, they stay in touch, and they just keep nurturing that person. It's not just one person, it's hundreds of people, right? And so what happens is every single month, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Does this make sense? The same thing's going to happen for you guys. You're creating conversations, you're creating interest, you're following up, following up, following up. Who knows who it's going to be this month, but there's going to be people ready every month. And that's where you get that consistent, predictable stream of new customers and partners. Does this make sense? Are you guys with me? And this is so easy to do, and it's so easy to duplicate. And the best part is you get it done in an hour or less, and you're on, right? So it becomes a discipline. How many of you brushed your teeth today? Oh my gosh. Well, we got to work on this. No, I'm just kidding. I know most
Even
of you
if I didn't.
All right. But okay, now, how many of you have raised kids? So you probably don't remember being a kid, but as a parent, you know how many times you have to tell your kids to brush their teeth before they did it on their own. Probably 100,000 times, because it's what, 20 times in one night, right? So I don't know. I don't think my kids are special like that. I think all kids are like that. But yet, as adults, we've built the discipline to daily do it. Now, our parents don't have to bug us to do it anymore. That means if you can brush your teeth, you can do anything. So just keep that in mind. You can do anything. You can create a new habit. You can create a new discipline. This is for the health of your business, not your teeth, but it's the same idea. 30 minutes, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you're going to be golden. Okay, couple things here before I do questions. Let me just kind of give you guys some action steps on the way out here. Let me skip here. Okay, let's talk about what you get when you sign up for Teamzy real quick. I'll do pricing, then I'll give you action steps. So Teamzy is a full-fledged CRM. That's a customer relationship manager. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo for the type of software it is, but it keeps track of all your contacts, every customer, every conversation that you've had with them. It's going to be logged, so you can go back to that. It's got the intelligent module to crush your power hour that we just demonstrated. You'll be able to view and track your leads as they go through, get your team motivated. We didn't talk about this, but there's this really cool team report in here where you guys can give permission to your uplines to see your production, or not your production, what you're doing in Teamzy, your actions, hold you accountable and cheer you on, maybe give you some rewards, you see your performance, all of that. Okay. You're also going to have access to the scripts library, which I showed you little bits of. But these are designed for messenger, text, any type of touch point. There's even scripts to help you write handwritten notes in there. They're a collection of conversation starters, staying in touch, follow-ups, and reconnecting. What I don't have are what I call cheesy sales scripts. Okay. You don't need those. By the time you get to the point of trust, all you have to do is show them the opportunity. Okay. And also you can create your own scripts. You could upload scripts that you're using, or you can make them up and save them in your Teamzy so they're there when you need them, which is pretty cool. Okay. Also, when you get into sign up for Teamzy, you're going to get some trainings. Was this training helpful tonight? So there's some specific training courses that have downloadable workbooks, fill in the blanks. They're really well done that I did a while back, but there's a 3-part goal setting training, and these are going to be free for you in your Teamzy subscription. There's going to be other trainings that I do that you can pay for, but these are included. And that's the 3-part goal setting, how to visualize your BHAGs, that's your big, hairy, audacious goals. Set your SMART goals. I'm sure you guys have heard of SMART goals. And also how to create your personal business standard, which is your daily minimum requirement for your business to grow. Okay. So there's some trainings on those. There's a training on how to uncover your emotional why. Okay. And a lot of times I read a whole bunch of books on this. And it's like, you don't really need to go to a sweat lodge in Sedona to figure this stuff out, you guys, right? It's all in there. So it's just a process of how to uncover it. By the way, the cool thing about that training is you can use that with your new people to uncover theirs, help them uncover theirs. And then also a little bit more training on relationship marketing. I gave you guys some pieces of it tonight. But just to understand the concept of relationship marketing. So I call it the ultimate mindset training suite, and that's included. Okay, so when you do that, by the way, pricing for Teamzy, it's $1 a day, $29.99 a month to have all of your business suite planned, structured out for you. Okay, $1 a day, and that's tax deductible if you're. Is everyone here U.S. citizens? Yeah. So that's a business expense, which is beautiful. If you want to do it annually, it's even, you get a bigger discount if you do it a year at a time. Okay, so let's give you your action steps. First thing I want you guys to do is get your subscription to Teamzy, of course. The first 14 days are free trial. So you get a chance to fall in love, okay? We want you to love it. I mean, I appreciate your business. My family appreciates the income, but really want you to love Teamzy and be successful with it. That's why we're here, is to help you. Join the Teamzy community Facebook group. Once you're in there, you'll see there's a link to it on your homepage. It's a great place to be connected to lots of other people who are using Teamzy. If you have questions, sometimes you can just search it in the group, find the answer. It's great. Also, I recommend getting a success partner to do the 14-day trial with you. Say, hey, let's try this out together. Let's do it together. Hold each other accountable. And what I recommend you do is message each other daily a screenshot of your Teamzy when you've done it with your circles closed. Okay. Even if you only get them half closed, screenshot, boom, I did my Teamzy. How about you? It's powerful. You guys know we're not wired really to succeed for ourselves. We're more wired to succeed for others. We don't want to let people down. We want other people to feel edified. That's the way we were created. And so success partners are very powerful because that accountability for another person will get more out of you. Last piece is I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. The challenge is connect with 100 people in 5 days. So 20 people a day. That's all. 20 people a day. Message 20 people a day for 5 days. And the reason why is because it's going to really blow your mind. You're going to be so busy. You're going to be so busy, but it's the best way I can prove Teamzy to you in a few days. You do this, you message people, one of my Make Someone's Day scripts 20 times a day, 5 days, and you're going to be amazed at the amount of momentum you create in just 5 days. And so now you got to think about what that would look like if this was just the way you operated all the time. Okay. Make sense? All right. So now what we're going to do is if you're still here, if you don't need to run off, is I'll stay for a little while longer. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Unmute your microphones, ask away.
Eric, before you start questions, guys, I want to just jump in here real quick. The time we do between 10 and 11, the Spark and Spark at Night, that is all built on Teamzy. Everything we're doing there is all built on Teamzy. So when I talk about doing the survey scripts, what he's there.
You
of
can just
course-
skip that by hitting dashboard. Just hit the dashboard button and it'll skip that scene.
Thank you. So basically, I talk about sending the survey scripts. We have them right here. I have not used his. Now you do have to close these out to get to the scripts. I found that out. So you're in here, you have your survey first question. I hope you're doing well. 10 minutes on surveys, 10 minutes on find add message. That's your relationship builder. 10 minutes on asking the question or seeing how you can help someone.
Mhm.
And that ask the question doesn't come until you know about, you can tell me something about that person. So there it is. So every morning we're doing this process for 30 minutes every morning. That's in our Spark. So just as a heads up, that's the commitment. It works. We've used it. Yes, don't look at my follow-ups. I'm in the process. I've been working with AI for the last 18 months. In fact, I just got certified by Fraser. I'm the only one of 50 that can market his programs and trained by him in AI. So there's some questions I'd love to ask you. We can do it later about AI and bringing in some other platforms and stuff here, but I know that takes effort. So any questions, guys, ask Eric. He's the hero.
Well, and can I hop in and just add some little plugs of ways that I use it for the business too?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I spoke with Gabriella recently and she taught me how to do custom shares. And so when you're in that connect screen right there, when you click on the shares, he showed us how to switch it from the connect to the business opportunity. But you can say you invited them to a live event. You can say you sent them a video. You can say what it was you actually shared. And then when it goes to the different reports, that you can see what's effective and what works for you. Along with the follow-ups, if you have a client that has payments like a cruise that they've paid the deposit, but they're going to have other portions due, you can throw that in. And so it gives you that follow-up reminder on that day, or you can set it for a few days before just to send them that reminder that it's going to be due. And then for just the prospect, the relationship building, I love sending Facebook messages on their birthdays even. And so then it's not just, hey, what's going on in your day? It's also that, oh, you care enough to, wish me a happy birthday. So those are some of the big things that I've used it for as well, in addition to what Eric's already shared with us.
Love it.
Guys, you're not just bashful usually. They are.
So Eric, listen, I am not new to Teamzy, and the thing is that I got away from Teamzy because I wasn't using it. But I wasn't using it because, and I watched a lot of your videos on training on how to use Teamzy. So I actually had it for about 2 or 3 years, but I really didn't, can I say, I guess, really monetize on all that it had to offer. So you really helped me on tonight. I'm coming back home.
I love it. I'm
coming back.
I'm sorry that I wasn't there to have a call with you 3 years ago, get you fired up then.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm coming back. I see where it can actually, because my issue is being consistent and to really getting, and I have a team of over 250. So I need to know, because it has a lot to do with retention. And I know that, if I could just talk to these people, and so when you said 10,000, I plan to get there. So I wrote that down, and I will be calling you when I get there.
Okay.
But the thing is that at this point in time, I know I need to stay in touch with my team. I know that I am not getting to talk to people every day like I should. I know this is not even a question. I'm not going to say, I don't think, no, I know that I'm not. So it really, I can see where, I know you've heard this. When the student are ready, the teacher will appear.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The teacher just appeared.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. And the thing is everyone struggles with consistency.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad I ain't the only one.
Everyone does. I mean,
Quick question, Eric, since you're talking about that, before I forget, I am doing a coaching program on AI and social media. A lot of the ladies were sideline partners. Miss Judy's way ahead of me in this business. Okay. She's the mama. She's way ahead of this, but how can I use Teamzy for people that are in that Facebook group? Can I use just bring him into the team report? How can I use that? Because I mean, teaching them to do social media, relationship building, they'll tell you that's what I talk about.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to do is use a tag. By adding a tag to those people, you create a subgroup in Teamzy. So the tagging is the simplest. I mean, when we built it, I was like, this has to be so easy. You can add a tag for anything you want in Teamzy, right? And every time you create a tag, that's a group. Anyone with that tag. If you go to your team page, which is where all your contacts are, and you click on any tag. So if you scroll down, he's got Facebook tagged. That's because Teamzy automatically creates a Facebook tag when we import your Facebook friends. So if you click on that tag Facebook right there, that's now the group of people from Facebook. So everyone on that list is in that group.
So I could do create new tag and put AI master class.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
You do AI masterclass. Then if you tagged everybody with that, then it would that would be a group. So you could just go, well, I want to message them every Monday. You could come over and hit your tag. If you did, I mean, there's so many ways you can use it. You know, like I like to tag veterans, and then on Veterans Day, message all my veterans.
my God.
Thank you for your service, right? So active duty personnel, I would tag, for Armed Services Day. So like things like that, getting a private message is so much more potent than just posting something on your feeds. Mother's Day, for some of you, it might be all mothers and it might be overwhelming, but like for Mother's Day, getting a list of people to say Happy Mother's Day to. So there's lots of great things. Now, the other thing is if you ever do an event, let's say you have an online or in-person presentation on a certain date, you can create a tag list of every person you've invited. So as you do your invitation follow-ups, you just pull a list. And you just go through and log them. You can then create then I would change the tag for everybody who actually attended that event. Right. So now I've got the tag list of invited but didn't attend. I've got the tag list of attended. Right. So there's different ways I could follow up with that list. Also, those are people I might want to invite. The people who didn't attend, I make sure I want to invite to the next one. Right. So and my strategy was, sorry you missed the last event. My friend Mary, and I tell a story of somebody who did come to that event and has had success. So they get that this is what you missed out on by not coming last time. Please come to the next one, right? So just having fun with the tags, but also tagging, what people are purchasing. So you can go, if you had, I know you guys do cruises, for example, right? So everyone who's purchased, you guys have an amazing deal on a great cruise.
Yes.
You could pull everyone who's bought a cruise in the past and say, hey, I had to tell you about this special deal that's up here, right? So the tags can help you to more intelligently work this list of relationships. So what I showed you tonight, because what I didn't want to happen was I didn't want what happened to Judy, which is I don't know how to use all of this, so I'm not going to touch it. I wanted you guys to go, look, if you only know this, how to do a power hour, you're going to win. And then after you get consistent doing that, then we can work on other things like tags. You can learn more about some of the power you can unleash. And I just want you guys to know, if you click on Help Center, I've got trainings in there on all this stuff. So as you need it, you can go, there's a training on how to leverage tags in there. For example, this is the example of right now. So there's deeper trainings. And then you could talk to people on my team like Gabriella, who are amazing and who will you can set up a Zoom with them. They'll screen share with you and tell them what you want to do, and they'll find a way to use the system to do it. Does that make sense? So the most important thing, though, to do yourselves and to duplicate with your teams is the power hour. It's get those contacts in there, rank those contacts, and then follow the prompts, connect with prospects, customers, distributors, share the opportunity, follow up. If that's all you do, you're going to be rocking.
Let me just say, to tell you guys, talking to everybody else, when I was the little bit I did use Teamzy, I want you to know it really works very well. everything that he showed you, it does. It reminded me of follow-ups. It brought in the new people. It has the scripts there. And I didn't use it enough to really get really good and acclimated to it. But I'm going to change that up because I had it and I didn't utilize it. So I need to utilize it. I need to get it back and I need to utilize it. So I just want y'all to know it does work and it works very well. And he's got a lot of training in there because the only reason I kept it for 3 years was because I had enough training that I kind of had an idea, but he's just shown so much more value on this evening that I just appreciate you, Eric. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And just so you guys know too, like we won't hold you to, like if you don't like it, you can cancel it. We're easygoing. So it's not like we're locking you in for life and you're mortgaging your house to join us. It's $1 a day, get in there, use it. If you can get one sale a month, well,
That's
probably
great.
one good sale pays the year, right? So,
So we get $50 up front for each person that joins our team and 25 if they refer someone that joins. So guys, if it brings you one person a month,
That's great.
and to Eric, what he said about 2 years, 3 years, one of my largest sales from someone in that previous industry, in the timeshare industry, was from a family that I talked to every year for 4 years because dad owned a week every year for 4 years, and they come in and bought $175,000 package. They walked in and said, "We want this." So, things like that, I didn't think about it until after you said that. I thought, you know what? And I was asking Amanda, we've had a couple people that she's talked to 6 months to a year
2 years, something. Yeah,
that joined us.
just keep
Yeah.
dripping on them until it happens.
So, you're in this business for 5 years and all of a sudden one a month for every month that you're in the business is coming back to say, you know what? You just didn't quit.
yeah. Well, there are people who are waiting to see if you're going to be doing this a year later.
Exactly.
So
The most heartbreaking thing is you reach out to somebody a few times, don't have a system like Teamzy, so they fall through the cracks.
and
And
sign
then
up
you
with
find
someone
out
else.
they joined your business with someone else.
Yep.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Right?
Quick question, Eric, on scripts. If I've made some scripts, is there a way I can organize them? 1, 2, 3, because I may have made scripts that I want to go together, but I have to search for them.
That is a good question. And I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know how the scripts are prioritized other than by the tags.
So maybe that's
No,
what I should do then.
Yeah, I need to
Add a
ask
tag to it.
I'll need to ask my team what the priority is on that, but let me go in and look.
Because see,
One of
here's
the things-
just to show you, here's, the survey first question. Hope you and your family are doing well. I hope you don't mind if I ask you two quick questions. Have you traveled anywhere,
Whatever.
whatever. And then we have follow-ups to those.
But they're not in order.
I have to go through here and go, okay,
Where is it?
first 48
Right.
hours.
No, I think I understand. Okay, great. So I'm just going to test something here. Great. I'm just testing to see if I can guess what this is.
Okay.
I got my own Teamzy account going. I know you guys can't see it. Okay.
Well, I think if you want us to,
Yeah, they do. It does go alphabetical. It does go alphabetical. So if you change the
Okay.
script name to be the number 1, then the number 2, then the number 3, they will list in order.
Okay, perfect.
Ah.
Thank you.
So it's listing by filters and then alphabetical. So what I did was I just created 1 space script, 2 space script, and the 2 space script jumped right below 1 base script. So
Yeah.
they're going numerical and alphabetical. So
Thank
that's how I would do it, is I would just put like a 1, 2, 3 so they jump to the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
That'll
See if
work.
that
That'll
works for
work.
you too. And always make sure that you're adding the tags, or else it will jump to the bottom of your list with no tags. So if you want it to show up on prospects in Facebook, make sure you hit those tags. So it'll show up at the top of
Oh,
right.
Okay, perfect.
did
Otherwise it jumps to
that.
the bottom
Yeah,
with no
that's
no
perfect.
filters. So if you're coming in from prospects and you hit Facebook and it has those two tags, your scripts will prioritize above my scripts.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, that helps a
Yes,
lot.
you always learn something when you get me
Yeah,
on.
always. Thank you.
Sure
So
thing.
that's, yeah,
Also, there's a special tool if you want to clear those 128 follow-ups if they're stale. and
yes,
just-
they are.
You can go over. Let's do it. I'll show you right now. Go to team. Because you're not connecting. If they're on the follow-ups list, they're not coming back up to connect. They're frozen in time. Go
Okay.
to tools in the left middle there, kind of near the top, tools. There you go. Click on follow-up contacts. Now scroll down to the bottom of that page. You can remove all follow-ups on the right, and it'll clear all the follow-ups off the list.
Oh, wow.
And then it'll return them back to the flow. Now, if you only want to remove some, then you check the boxes. But if you want to just clear it and start over, now all those 128 people or however many it was are back in the regular flow. They'll show up based on their ranking to connect.
Oh,
See,
great.
those follow-ups came from a 90-day run where I was doing 40 surveys a day.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. The reason I built the tool you just used is because when your follow-up list goes stale, in other words, you let it just sit too long, you need to just start with making the day again.
Yep.
So we'll put them back in the other cycle. When they come up on the make someone's day list, hey, it's been a while since I connected. I think it's script number 2. Hey, it's been a while since I checked in with you. How the heck are you?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, like these are basic things, but it really works. Yeah. Look at connect number 2. So that's where you do when you got to scale one. You got to stale follow-up.
Yeah.
Anyway, can I add a bracket name here to get it to auto import the name?
Can we do that for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about doing that. We just haven't worked on that. We've had other priorities, but yeah.
Yeah. Because I too have done that more times. In fact, I got called out like 3 times in a row. So,
For calling Jane.
yeah,
For
it seemed like
calling
every
somebody
guy I
else.
had a female name to, and every female I reached out to had a guy name for.
Here's the thing I will tell you though, if they responded,
I got a response.
you got a response.
I got a response.
Yep.
Any response is a good response. Facebook sees that as a conversation.
Yep. So just say, yeah, you can just call me. I always did something like, I'm so sorry I messed it up. Just call me Shirley for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm Shirley. Because Shirley, I don't know
seriously,
what I'm
how
doing.
are you? You know, I'm glad we're talking at least. What's going on in your world, right? So
Yeah.
you can usually come back from that mistake, but
Oh,
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, it was a good chuckle.
it's better than dear bracket name bracket.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah,
That would be bad.
I'm
Okay.
just looking how to send it to everybody that's not here.
Everybody that has an email address in Teamzy, if you click that, will get an email with the link.
Okay, most of them I don't have my emails for.
Yeah.
So.
The problem is the only problem with that is it looks a little bit spammy because
Yeah.
it's auto generated.
Yeah.
But if you can also just get the link or just tell people to go to teamzy.com. It's fine. I mean, same thing for if you want people to join your team report. If you go to the team report page, you can actually copy your link and you can just share your link instead of sending the auto email. So right there, you can get the link, and then you just paste that link in your team group or whatever team chat, and then anyone that copies that,
Y'all know what I'm fixing to do.
they can join your team report. The team report. So now that Mama Judy, I like that you called her that. So she's coming back. You're going to want to use that team report. And the cool thing about the team report is you can see like if people are making their connects or not.
Yeah.
I like a lot of leaders have used it very successfully on their team calls. They pull it up live and they say, let's look at the week and see who's been crushing it.
Yeah.
And so then what it is not to make people feel bad that aren't doing it, but to really celebrate the people who are Maybe do
Yes.
some giveaways, you know, prizes, things like that. Get people excited about doing it. But also, you might not want to do it live, but when you scroll down to the bottom of your team report, you see all the little sleepy emojis, people who aren't doing anything. Those are the people you might want to message and say, hey, how's everything going? I see you haven't touched the business this week. And they'll say, I've been doing it honest. I'm just not logging anything in Teamzy.
Mhm.
And this is what I say, which is you can quench your thirst by drinking from your hands, but you spill more than you drink. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay. All right, y'all. I got to get going.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Hopefully
You've
we'll
got
do
the
this in
recording.
6 months and have a huge bunch of people here for you.
I love it. In fact, let's follow up. Let's talk about getting you guys a custom version of Teamzy for your company.
That'll
So-
be great.
Perfect.
And those giveaways, I never saw any of those things.
No, that's for you to do. I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about oh, he showed us a while ago. If you sign up now, you got those 2 things.
What 2 things?
Oh yeah, they're in university. So you go into your Teamzy and you click on university.
See, we're
On the left
learning all
side.
kinds of stuff tonight, folks.
Yeah, look at this. So scroll down a little bit, because of course I'm trying to sell you stuff first. So there you are, right there. Ultimate Mindset included with your subscription.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, click on those. You've got downloadable workbooks, video trainings. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Awesome. Boy, learn all kinds of neat stuff.
Yep.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, y'all have a great night.
You too.
God bless
Appreciate you,
you.
sir.
Talk to you soon.
It's been great. I'm looking forward to actually getting to watch it while I'm not driving. But it's very encouraging to be able to build those relationships.
Yes.
Yep. If you can jump on tomorrow morning or Wednesday, Kim, do that. We'll be talking about it for sure.
Yeah. And I'm going to be busy this next week doing taxes.
Oh yeah.
And, all those people that, filed extensions.